know I try to be a good man, I always give it my best. But truth be told, someday I wanna go to the wild, wild west.
And now, live from our Smokehouse studio, it's time for Real Estate Jerky. All your real estate questions answered by a provocatively lean expert host, Ed Parcaut, MBA, veteran, and president of Lending for Living. And today's special expert guest, real estate advice you won't find anywhere else. Plenty to chew on, starting now.
Hey, it's great to be here this afternoon. I'm here with my guest, Andy Elder. He is the president of Cal Comfort Insulating Windows here in Modesto, California. And I'm here with Betsy Hurst-Younger, realtor from Century 21 of Wildwood Properties in Twain Harte. Came down again from the up there. Thank you, Betsy.
You're welcome.
And Andy, most of us just know your company as Cal Comfort. Is that correct? Is that what?
That's what we've been calling it lately. Yeah, it's Cal Comfort Insulating Windows, kind of a mouthful. So.
Yeah, for me, it's a lot big. I usually mess up on big, long words like that. So I was thinking Cal Comfort is what I was hearing before. So, Betsy, what's new with you?
Well, this last week I got to preview homes for the AAUW home tour that's coming up in December.
And what's the AAW for those?
AAUW is American Association of University Women.
So it wasn't A&W root beer?
No, not at all. This is a fundraiser where we raise money for girls' scholarships.
And how much did you give out last year?
I believe we gave out $13,000.
Well, pretty good especially up there in the foothills.
Yeah, we usually raise about $17,000 that day. And then we have another 6 girls that go to what we call Tech Trek that we give scholarships to them also.
What's Tech Trek?
Tech Trek is a, what do you call it? Like a camp that's at Fresno State where girls going into the 8th grade get to go.
And it's all about tech or something?
It's all about tech. Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
STEM.
Our number one goal here on Real Estate Jerky is to help you, our listeners, learn about home ownership and how you can take advantage of the simplest way to build personal wealth in America, which is, of course, through home ownership. Today, we're talking about the least number one ROI, return on investment, home improvement on just about any expert's list that you should do, which is replacing your windows and doors. So, Andy, I know let's get into a little bit about you. How long have you been doing this?
I started with Cal Comfort when it was first originated in 1982. So that would be about 37 years now.
So just a short period of time.
Yeah. Still working at trying to figure the business out.
Yeah, that's how business is. It's always a challenge. It changes all the time on you. So when people, I know you were talking about this earlier, Betsy, how you replace a lot of windows in your time in the real estate industry or what you used to do. So when somebody gets into a home, is it the best return on investment, or is it dollar wise? How is that?
In terms of replacement windows, there's I think several reasons to replace. Return on investment may not be the primary purpose. Energy savings is obvious, but security, sound control, comfort all plays into it. So every home is going to be different.
Yeah, I think for me it's the sound. I mean, it makes a huge difference when you go from single pane windows to dual pane windows, right?
People don't realize it until they get them, and then that's their first comment is, "Gee, we didn't realize how quiet it is now."
Yeah. So. Now we can hear everybody.
Right. I know, and also, I wanted to say for aesthetics also, because sometimes you've got an older home that's got maybe wooden windows with rot, and if you put those new windows in, it makes it look new.
Or even in the 80s, weren't they black? The windows, a lot of windows, black.
The bronze,
frames
Originally, we were aluminum windows was the only product that was available. After steel they quit making, so it's been a transition into frame materials that are now have insulating properties, where aluminum is basically a conductor of heat and cold. So
those old silver framed cold windows. Yeah.
Well, aluminum, that's all you have to say, right?
Yeah.
That's why they have cold beer in it, huh?
That's right.
Makes great frying pans also.
All right, so I brought up about the 80s, and Marlene put on here, what's the biggest change since back in the 80s? Would that be it, the change from aluminum to the new stuff?
The technology that has produced the non-conductive frame materials, the vinyl windows are probably the most widely used product today because of its affordability. A lot of wood windows that are my particularly favorite that have aluminum cladding for protection give you strength and durability and warmth. The newest products are a lot of blending of fiberglass frames with wood to get kind of the best of both worlds. So there's presents us with color options that we don't have with vinyl. As a rule, there are painting vinyl windows today, but it drives the cost up, and the durability, I feel, is a little bit subject. So, yeah.
So if you have vinyl, it still makes sense to replace them. I mean, if you you bought a house and they had put vinyl in the 90s.
There's been huge developments in the vinyl industry, but there's also a large difference between one vinyl product and another. What you want to look for are what we call the wall thickness. If you take an end cut of a vinyl window and you actually visually see how thick the walls are on it and how many chambers are in there, the thicker the walls, the more chambers is going to give you a stronger, longer lasting window. So that also results in more material cost to produce that window. So there's the old adage, you get what you pay for.
Right. Grandfather used to say the cheapest tool in the shed is the most expensive.
Replace it again.
That's right. A few more times when you break it.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So from the 2000s today, what's changed? I mean, because it was saying materials changed in the 2000s. What was that?
There's been advances in the glazing technologies.
And that would be for the glass?
For the glass. And that's the biggest part of the window. The second part is because of the glass area, or originally it was double pane clear glass. Now they produce what they call the low emissivity coatings, first generation, second, and now we're third generation, what we call low E3, and they're in our climate zone are primarily designed to reduce solar gain. Since we're in more of a cooling climate than a heating climate, even though it does as well. With the low E3 glass, you get nearly all your natural daylight. It's amazing. You put your hand in front of the window, you see the sunlight on your hand, but you feel no heat. Mm-hmm. So that's the driving impetus now with the air conditioning costs. So that combined with frames that don't conduct gives you a good value product. So.
Did you have any questions, Bets? You're really quiet this week.
I'm just learning, and I'm listening, and I was thinking about one of the biggest issues that we find are blown window sills. So the seal itself, and you see a water condensation in between. Are there certain windows that don't do that? Or I know was it Milgard has a warranty?
Milgard has a lifetime warranty, and it's the lifetime warranties on the seal failures are becoming more commonplace. Mm-hmm. There has been a problem in the industry that they've been faced with for years, is what we call seal failure, where the material that breaks down that forms the seal around the edge of the windows. They've developed newer methods of creating those seals using foam and combinations that are producing fewer and fewer seal failures. I don't think we'll ever have windows that can be 100%, but now that the manufacturers are coming back on their warranties and taking care of those issues, it's comforting to the homeowner to know that if that's a problem, it'll be taken care of.
Do they actually have to replace the window?
Hold on. Can we pick that up when we come from break? All right. We'll be right back after this break. Listeners, if you have questions or comments, please dial #250, say the keyword Real Estate Jerky. Again, that's #250, say the key phrase Real Estate Jerky, and you'll be able to leave your questions or comments. Talk to you when we get back. Just make sure it's on. Down, down, down.
Had a head cold for a month, and it's still,
Oh, no,
still draining in the back of the throat.
Don't say that.
We were trying to figure out if people had allergies or if they had a cold. Because everybody was kind of getting a little bit of a cough, but nobody had a sore throat.
Yeah,
It was, but it was
one or both.
It was the drainage. Yeah.
Yeah, the never-ending drainage.
I know. So Sonora High, you probably know a lot of people that I know.
A lot of the older names,
Yeah.
the Danbackers and the
Yeah.
Sanguinettis and
Sounds like I've been doing this like 40 times
the,
Sagers from? Well, actually, a lot of them grew up down where I was from in Anaheim.
All right, so when we come back, why don't you pick up with your question, whatever it was.
First you said I wasn't talking enough.
Well, no, I know, but remember I said this?
Yeah.
All right, that means that you want me to do
2 more
this.
minutes.
When I say 1 minute, that means you only got 30 seconds, because then I
Okay.
got 30 seconds to go out. Hey, we're back, and for those of you just turning in, I'm Ed Parcaut, mortgage advisor with Lending for Living, and your host, along with my guest, Andy Elder, president of Cal Comfort. I'm just going to stop there. And Betsy Hurst-Younger, realtor of Century 21 Wildwood Properties up in Twain Harte. And thanks for being here, you two.
You're
All right,
welcome.
we
We were just talking about blown window seals.
Right. So you had
And the
something.
condensation that's in the middle of those panes. And I was wondering if that window has to be actually replaced, or can you actually take one of the panes off, clean it up, re-vacuum seal it, and put it back together?
Yeah, Betsy, that we don't have to replace the entire window. The each panel in the window is designed to be removed. We don't break the seal apart and clean those and reuse them. We actually just provide a new sealed unit made to the same size and dimension, reinsert it back into that frame, and continue on.
And is that no matter what type of window is there? But no, it'd have to be a window that's still manufactured today, or?
It can be an obsolete product. It can be any material. Most all windows are designed to be reglazed. When you get into the wood manufacturers, it becomes more problematic. You possibly result in damage to the wood frames. So often then we just do a complete sash replacement, replacing the whole movable portion of the window. So in any case, the new sealed units will come with an extended warranty. It might be an opportunity at that point in time to upgrade from the older clear glass IG units to the new dual pane, so you can actually improve the
Right.
product at the same time.
That's great. Good to know. I know. And
Sorry, I had to fix the heater in here. It was a little too warm.
I
Had to
know.
turn it down. It was getting hot. So keep going.
well, and so most of the people out there probably know, but it was after 1978 double pane windows were required as an energy efficiency item.
I believe that's about the year that the energy codes required that. As seems like with each passing year, the energy requirements are become more and more stringent to meet with what they call the NFRC requirements. NFRC, the National Federation Rating Council, is the body that governs the manufacturing, quality control of windows and design. So depending on your climate zone, when a house is built, it's has what they call Title 24 energy requirements.
Right.
So if you desire a house that you want expansive glass areas, you'll have to increase the insulating ability of that house in other areas of the home, either through air conditioning or insulation, things of that nature. So you have to find that balance between glass and orientation with the windows.
Right, because like in our case up in the mountains, we have a lot of walls of glass because of the views of trees and mountains.
Beautiful to look through, but you'll pay the product price when
Right.
it comes to designing that home properly.
And have a wood burning stove.
Exactly.
A big one. Puts out a lot of heat.
Yeah, not long for those either, though. Yeah.
Well, up there they're still, right? What's
Oh yeah, we
going
can
on?
still have wood stoves.
Yeah.
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 We don't have burn days and non-burn days like you guys do down here,
Well, there's
Yeah.
only 56,000 of you guys in your county, so
and all the way into Yosemite. I
a
know.
little different than
Exactly.
Like
I know.
Modesto, there's 203,000 people, right? Just in
Exactly.
the city. Keep going. My question I had was, because you're bringing up that number, energy efficiency number, because I know when I was looking at replacing my roof, they were like, how much insulation do you have in your attic? Because whether or not you can go with a dark roof color or a light roof color to keep that heat off of there.
Right.
And I had just put in a lot of, new air conditioning, and we put insulation in the attic. But I still would like to go with a lighter color just to reflect some of that heat. Because here in the valley, it's pretty warm during the summer. Why would you want to add to your work of your air conditioning and everything else? So, but I definitely, we need to talk afterwards, because I want you to come out to our house and relook at that stuff.
Be happy to.
Let's see here.
I was going to say, you said something about a toddler being on your trucks. Is there a picture of a grandkid, or is that a son? Or
that who you see is Benjamin.
Okay.
I believe he was about 3.5, maybe 4 years old at the time. So yeah, he graces the side of our vehicles.
Is he related to you?
Huh?
Is he related to you?
That's my son.
Oh gosh, okay.
As he was 14 years ago. He's now a high school graduate and on his way to college. So.
Great. Does he want to get in the family business?
He doesn't really have any desire. He's got other plans on his future, so I don't push him.
Good.
He's helped me out in the summers in the warehouse, and but I'll let him forge his own path in life. Yeah.
So what's the biggest mistake you see homeowners make when it comes to windows and doors?
If they're in a situation where I'm going to address probably replacement windows more than new construction, but there's a lot of product out there to learn about, so making quick decisions. As I mentioned, you get what you pay for, so the best price may not always, in the long run, be the best price. After you got problems with windows, I see in the industry, it's what we refer to as slam and jam installations, where they're in and out as fast as possible, kind of a generic method of replacing windows, and it's not always, doesn't always turn out to be the best method. So based on what their needs are, we try and assess what a customer, what their purpose in replacing the windows are. And you've got everybody from young couples who are trying to buy a fixer-upper and to get into their first home, and they're on limited budget. You're going to try and provide a product that's going to meet their accomplishments right then, trying to get done what they want. On the other hand, if you're looking at replacing the windows in long term, you're going to retire into this house, you don't want to have to worry about it in your older years, then you don't want to put in a product that, again, that you're going to have to replace in 10 or 15 years. So there's different levels and costs of grades of product out there designed for every homeowner's needs. So I think...
So what brands do you carry?
Well...
Or what do you recommend, I guess, right?
Well...
We have...
or carry, whatever.
We have what we call the affordable product lines. And most manufacturers that we'll even have today kind of like their entry-level grade, their mid-grade, and their high-grade windows.
Right.
Regardless of whether it's a Milgard or a Ply-Gem. In the vinyl industry, it's pretty common. So to determine their needs is the first aspect. Fit their budget, but give them a product that's going to meet what they're trying to achieve. My favorite products, I like the wood windows with the aluminum cladding. Marvin is well renowned. Mm-hmm. It's a product that we love, would love to sell more of, but it's a high-priced product. We do it on higher-end homes, and everybody's wonderfully satisfied with it. So it's
and we were talking before the break about, like, my house has the ones that slide up, and you prefer to use the ones that crank out, right?
What you're referring to is a single hung window. Okay. The bottom half lifts up, or in some cases double hung, both top and bottom sash operate. They require a mechanical device in there called the sash balance to raise and lower that window easily. It is a mechanical device, so it's not 100% foolproof. Over the period of time, there's springs in there or cords that break and they need to be replaced. It's actually not that big of a project to replace those balancers. There's even some homeowner videos today that are available from manufacturers to show the process, and we can get those replacement parts. But as you mentioned, I do prefer the casement style windows that they're the old-fashioned kind that crank out. They have the tightest sealing aspect when they're closed. The gasket closes against the frame no matter how hard the wind is blowing. You have less air leakage than you will with any type of a sliding or lift-up window.
Aren't they harder to break into?
Typically, yes. What we're finding today is with nearly all of the new products, easy entry isn't possible anymore without actually breaking the windows.
Okay.
So, but that's compared to the old aluminum windows where you could screwdriver them open fairly easily.
Right.
Today's products, they're better locking systems, stronger frames.
Good.
Where's the screen on that one?
The casement window screen is on the interior.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's not preferred to have that screen in there on the inside all the time, they also have what we call roll-down screens that allow you to, it's just like a roll-up shade, and the screen tucks up into the head of the window, out of view, and you only use it when you need it. So,
You get some of those.
I was going to say, I haven't seen one of those.
I've seen them on shows, but I haven't seen them in person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of times they're an aftermarket product that can be added in.
Got it. Got it. You know, the biggest challenge I see when I'm showing houses is the screen door or that sliding glass door that won't open and close very easily. I fell through a glass kitchen table years ago, and the last thing I want to do is force a glass door open. So people should be cleaning them, maintaining them?
The sliding screens, by and large, if you keep the tracks clean, use a little silicone lubricant is what we prefer, then you're going to get many years out of them. But I'm afraid kids and dogs aren't sliding screen doors' best friends.
Right.
You know? If you're looking for a product, they do have with steel ball bearing wheels today, and screen extrusions that have a strengthened shape to it. So again, when you're looking at product to buy, look a little deeper and compare.
All right, so let's go to break. When we go to break, usually we talk about I'm a veteran and it's important to support members of our military. We always honor a veteran business owners during the show. If you are a vet or know a vet that could use some free advertising, please message us their name and number at pound 250. And again, you got to say Real Estate Jerky to get there. Again, that was pound 250. Say the keyword Real Estate Jerky and we'll take it from there. We'll talk to you when we get back. See, now you, Betsy.
What?
So now you know what happens when you ask a question and you know I only have 45 seconds and they go over. So you need to make sure you don't ask those questions.
The big question. When we first would do a spec and we'd get it ready for the guy to move in, we would actually rub a bar of soap along the bottom of those sliders.
Paraffin, wax.
Yeah. She was jogging and watched somebody hit a dog
12 minutes and 15 seconds.
and stayed with the dog for an hour and a half until somebody came.
I'll do my best to keep it right at 12:15, but we might go to 12 and use that 15 in the next one.
I told her she was missing a class, and I told her it was okay. She was doing a good thing.
All right, where are we at?
I didn't bring my list of what's happening in the mountains, but I'm going to talk about some land.
Huh?
Land?
What?
Vacant land?
Yeah, well, what's happening in the mountain once we come back
We
in?
got
I'll let
the
you talk about
Lumberjack
that.
Jubilee. It's well in the city.
You're married. You're already married. Move on.
Real Estate Jerky is back on Power Talk 1360. Chew on that.
We're back with my guest, Andy Elder, president of Cal Comfort Insulating Windows, Modesto, California, and Betsy Hurst-Younger, realtor, Century 21 Wildwood Properties in Twain Harte. And again, I'm Ed Parcaut, your host. Betsy, so what's new up in the mountains these days?
Well, we've got the Tuolumne Lumberjack Jubilee happening this weekend, and they actually
Does your husband still let you go to that?
No. They have tug-of-wars. They've got
Are these really
climbing
big
up the trees.
lumberjack guys?
You don't have to wear plaid to go.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. They actually are setting up right now. It's kind of like a carnival.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like the
It's like
thing
a
that's
fair.
over Calaveras sometimes.
The frog jump.
No, with the guys with the kilts. What days?
The Celtic Fair.
Thank you.
That's actually in Sonora.
Is it in Sonora?
Yeah, at the fairgrounds.
Oh, I
yeah, but that's
apologize.
in March.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't have my calendar out.
No, that's okay. And we still have the community theaters, with different performances, and lots of people go to see our repertory theater and the Fallon House. People come up right now with boats. I've seen boats and campers.
Well, it's a perfect time to be up. It's so hot
It
in
is.
the valley. Get up to the mountains.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure Pinecrest is just beautiful.
Oh, yeah, and overstacked.
This last weekend, Father's Day,
Yeah.
we had a young family, friends of my daughter's, drove all the way up and over the pass because that's what they wanted to do on Father's Day. They got stuck because it hailed so much. It was like they had a snowstorm.
Oh, really?
And they had to go all the way to 80 and come back all the way around.
Wow.
So I heard there were lots and lots of vehicles over there.
Yeah, it's a weird year for weather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Anything going on in real estate up there you want to talk about?
Oh, yeah, we've got lots of vacant land right now. If you guys are looking at retiring or building your custom home one day, great time to buy vacant land. I mean, places in Strawberry, Cold Springs,
And
down
that's
closer
anywhere
to Sonora.
from a small parcel
quarter
to
of an acre all the way up to acreage parcels.
like 10 acres, 12 acres
yeah,
kind of stuff.
we've got them.
Any 100 acres, 1,000 acres?
I think towards Groveland there might actually be some really large parcels for sale.
Some people want to get that house right in the middle away from everybody.
Yeah, and I showed property yesterday to a family that was looking for something from the Bay Area. They wanted to come up and stay as a vacation home, but they wanted acreage and they wanted shops and boy, some awesome places. I showed 8 different homes, and I've got one coming up this week for $450 right outside of Twain Harte with an almost 900 square foot shop that's solar powered.
Yeah, I mean, it's best time to be buying up there. I mean, they still has not went, they're nowhere close to the 2006 prices.
We had an economic forecast yesterday by one of the guys from the California Association of Realtors, and he said it's still a great time to buy.
From what I'm seeing, and we're going to still continue to go up this next year. They said CoreLogic put out a report. They talked about the top areas that's going up in value, and they looked at the East Coast and West Coast, and they were saying the top 10 places in California, number 4 was Modesto to go up 10% this year. Seriously. and I actually, I'm not an agent. I do loans for, and basically I looked at Stanislaus County for homes for sale and homes sold, right? So from May 1 to May 18th, there was 799 homes for sale in Stanislaus County, 301 sold, 280 went pending.
Great.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's right. And then in June to this point, there's 804 for sale, 210 sold, and 314 for pending. But what's important of all that is, and I think I still have it here, I ran Modesto, just Modesto. And it was like there was 286 homes or something like that. I can't find it. I'll come to it when I can find it.
Our county up in Tuolumne County has about 380 homes on the market right now. Our median price range is probably in the 330 range.
Yeah, it's perfect to buy up there.
Exactly.
But what I was getting at is, it showed in Modesto there was, let's just example, I don't have it right here, but say it said 300 homes for sale, and then it showed there was 286 homes that sold.
So it shows you what your inventory is.
Yeah, there hardly is any inventory. So that's why people are saying why I can't find a home in Modesto and they have to go elsewhere. And the best place would be just go a little bit further up, get a bigger place.
Whether it's Calaveras or Tuolumne County.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So before we went to break, our engineer had a question. He wanted to know which are easier to clean of the windows.
In terms of sliding windows versus the single hung versus the casement, that's one of the neat parts about the casement. You're going to have solid glass both sides. You can actually crank the window open a full 90 degrees. reach out, watch the outside of the window without going outside, getting on the ladder. Second story, you don't have to worry about it. So they are a breeze to clean.
Did that answer your question, engineer? All right, great. Glad I could help you out there. Did you have another question? All right.
You know, there was a question about whether or not you should have a doggy door or a pet door.
Was there?
Yeah.
Pet doors are popular.
Yeah.
How many times do you have to get out of that chair every night to let the dog in, and then he wants back out, back and forth?
I mean, even cats.
And the cats.
And the cats.
People have cats?
So
Yeah.
we can.
I thought they were outside cats.
I have a dog that opens our doors. He's 170 pounds. He can open the door by himself.
So we now have sliding panels that are glass panels that go into sliding doors that incorporate the dog door flap.
Right.
Small, medium, and large. It does insert into the operating side of the door. It's convenient, but from a security standpoint, until you drop the security panel in place, sure, somebody could come through, reach in, unlock the door, or even if you have a big dog, crawl in.
Not if that dog's on the other side.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, not my dog.
They don't come into my house.
They'll get their face washed if they come in my house.
Well, you know, we had a set of French doors that had the two side lights. Those are the side crank-out doors on each side. And our dogs destroyed the screen of one of them, and that became our dog door.
Yeah. Once they get their nose through, it's done. They're out.
Exactly. And how easy is it to rescreen?
Rescreening, even what you're talking about, it's should be just a vinyl cord that holds that glass in place.
Mm-hmm.
People bring in screen doors for us to rescreen. If you're a do-it-yourselfer at all, you can go down and buy the cloth for virtually pennies and get a $3 rolling tool, lay it down, and do it yourself. So
right.
You can save a lot of money on it, do it yourself.
It's almost like a pizza cutter, but a bit thicker.
Yeah. If the screen is cheap enough, you can buy two pieces if you screw up the first one.
Okay.
But then you got to do all the work.
That's right. Or else, you used to be able to bring them. We had a place called Andy's.
True value.
You remember that? Yeah.
Yep.
You used to be able to bring the screen in, and they'd rescreen it for you.
Yeah.
What is it? Do the people bring them to you guys?
We do. Typically, if you bring your screen door in, it's $35, $40 to rescreen it.
And then do you guys go out and screen the windows of houses that don't have screens, or are you know somebody who does that?
We're not heavy into screens. We'll do it as a service to our customers, usually on homes that we've either serviced in the past. But as a service, we do provide service to all of our customers, regardless of the nature. As we found over the years, one service leads to another.
Yes.
So are skylights and solar tubes considered a window product, or is that more of a roofing?
They're a product that we retail due to California's restrictive workman's comp insurance. We've no longer offer that as an installed product. But there are a couple companies here in the area that specialize in the solar tubes, so we send our recommendations that way. But if you have a typical dome skylight that over the years the lens is cracked, that's a really simple replacement job.
Okay. Yeah. Good to know.
What makes Cal Comfort Windows different than other replacement windows?
I think what makes us stand out amongst our competitors, I am a general contractor as well as a C17 glazing license. So we incorporate into our replacement business the remodeling aspects, where we don't just replace like size for windows. We can open up a wall, put in the large sliding doors, make windows smaller, make windows bigger, do all the structural work required. If there's additional sub work required, I have my stucco guys and my electricians that we utilize on larger projects. But So we don't limit our services to simple replacements. So it expands our business and our product lines tremendously.
Now, you were talking about sliding doors, and do you do those big doors that are glass?
Yeah, what we call the disappearing walls or
Yeah.
the folding wall systems. Yeah. There's the bifold style that you can either stack them to one end or the other, or both sides, as well as what we call pocketing doors, multi-slide doors, where the doors will actually disappear right into the walls.
Wow.
And give you a clean opening. So very popular in our climate zones. Maybe not so much as in San Diego, but
Right.
you know,
Or in
it's-
Mexico?
Yeah,
Well, they use them for more of like a lanai look or,
the lanai look. It's
or
the
a shohi panel.
anybody that's been to Hawaii has seen them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, they're nice. A little bit warmer here to have it open, but you can still open it while you're in the pool, right?
oftentimes we'll incorporate closed-in patio doors into the house with those, and then you can get a winter-summer value out of it.
Wow. All right, let's just go to break now. We'll leave the extra for later. Hey, thank you for listening to Real Estate Jerky. We'll be right back after this break. Remember, you can listen to us anytime or our podcast at iHeartMedia.com, iTunes podcast, or you can Google us, Real Estate Jerky, and you'll find us everywhere. Thank you. All right, so our last segment, 12 minutes or so.
Okay, what are we going to talk about on the last part?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about? We only have 12 minutes. No, we'll have 10 minutes.
Check out the windows on that one.
Beautiful.
Did you want to talk about any properties? Over
Yeah,
there?
I can.
Pool area,
It's inside the house. It's just below the living room.
the extended.
And it was actually designed by a guy who has a... Oh, yeah, okay. So Coop Kessel is the guy who designed, or his dad probably did it because it was in the late 70s. So you know Ferriani? John Ferriani? Okay. He's a big builder up there now.
Trying to think, is this as far out as Aldrin Road?
No, not as far. So if you're on Tuolumne Road and you make the right onto Ford's Ferry, it's probably about a mile.
Okay, yeah,
Oh, past the
10
Walmart.
minutes and 15 seconds of show
Yeah,
and
yeah.
1 minute of closing.
I know. We could bring back the fact that
Well, yeah.
lakes are
Andy, is there
popular.
anything we missed that you want to? Is there anything we missed you want to go over and re-explain?
Oh,
I mean, I did want to bring up,
Well,
you were saying why people. You're a professional. Just that's what we normally work with as professionals who think more along the lines of other things.
well, we do have a full showroom, product line.
Okay.
You can visit. We have a very expansive website for people to explore our products and then go on to manufacturers' product lines. So throw that in.
So when we come back, you want to say? I'm going to say, was there anything you want to talk about? And you can bring up in your little rules that you want to talk about. It should take like 3 minutes of that 10, and then we
Yeah,
can go
because I've got a 32-acre parcel listed right outside of Twain Harte, and we were talking about big parcels.
Right.
You could say
There's
something about-
nothing on
And then
it.
you could say something, no, nothing on it. But you could say something about
How much is it,
construction
32?
loans.
$1 million,
199, I think. Yeah.
199,000.
Yeah. 199.
199,000.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
32 acres.
Yeah.
What's wrong with it? Owner carry?
They might.
10% down?
It's a Gordo.
Huh?
Remember Gordo Pools?
Yeah.
It's one of the Gordo kids' property.
There's nothing on it. It's just
Nothing on it.
32 acres.
Yeah.
Because my wife wants acreage to retire to.
Was it Red Hills?
No, it's this is actually the part that's right off of Knox Road, off of North Tuolumne.
All right. So we'll bring that up. We'll bullshit like this on there. All right, we're ready. Excuse my language. Oh, I forgot to tell you, this goes on our YouTube channel.
I just found out a while ago.
While we're sitting here. Can they hear it?
They hear all day talking in between because it's on the mics. And yeah,
Great.
Get your serving size of Real Estate Jerky on Power Talk 1360 KFIV.
Hey, we're back with our final segment. I'm Ed Parcaut, mortgage advisor at Lending for Living, with my guest, Andy Elder, president of Cal Comfort Windows, and realtor Betsy Hurst-Younger of Century 21 Wildwood Properties in Twain Harte. We've been talking about all the great benefits for homeowners when they replace their windows and doors. Andy, we already know about just about everything home improvement shows or magazines like Better Homes and Garden, Home, HGTV list replacement windows and doors as a top investment. Can you give us your idea of a window and door cost and how that relates to homeowners' return on investment?
Sure. It's I'd say in the typical Modesto home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, a homeowner might expect to pay on a per window basis, depending on size and style, anywhere from $450 to $650 per window installed. Patio doors would run from a little over $1,200 up to $1,600. Again, 6-foot versus an 8-foot door.
And whether they go wood or something else, right?
I'm speaking of the vinyl product lines. When you step on up into the higher grade products, then virtually those numbers will double. A nice 4-panel French sliding door would run, $2,800-$2,900 installed.
But it won't rot as fast as the other one, right?
The fiberglass doors are impervious. They're paintable. Nothing is ever going to degrade it. So it's a durable long-term product. No pet claws, none of that nature for it. So
in my house, they put the French doors to go outside,
swinging out
instead of swinging in. Mm-hmm. Is there a better product that would last longer? Because those get wet sometimes, and after a while, they start having issues.
Outswing French doors, we get requests for them all the time, and my first reaction is, why?
Because they're out of the way.
Well,
Exactly.
It's a romantic concept of swinging the doors open out to your patio, and however, it presents problems with screening.
We have phantom screens.
Phantom screens
on the inside. So yeah,
work for that.
Phantom screens are great.
Until you have a German Shepherd who learns how to pop it open and get
Exactly.
in and out.
One of the problems that I encounter a lot with the outswing doors is with our Delta Breeze. If you're walking out with a tray full of refreshments in the summertime and you got one hand on the door and the wind's blowing, the door just pulled out of your hand, knocked the tray out, and nobody's happy.
He's just making it horrible to have these doors.
I know.
tell you.
So I recommend in-swing doors. There's various styles that you can even get a single swing, what we call a terrace door with a sliding screen on it. It gives you the appearance of the French doors, but with one active panel. If you need to have that large expanse opening, in-swing doors with a pair of bypassing screens on the outside, or the old-fashioned swinging screens are still available. On larger openings, we have the sliding French look. So you have the stylistic look of a French door, but in a sliding panel. So makes in terms of cost benefit, it's often numbers are cast about 20 to 30% decrease in your heating and cooling bills. So in some of our areas that are PG&E supplied, your 20 to 30% on a $600 or $800 bill is going to provide a lot faster payback than maybe down here in MID or TID, where you're not hit quite as heavily. But again, it also depends on one's living habits. How many's in the home, what temperatures you want to keep the house at. So the paybacks are there, whether it's a 6-year or a 10-year. Again, that's why you buy products that are going to last much longer than what you might expect, and
Right, because
the payback will come to you.
Right, plus if you plan on retiring the home, you don't want to have to redo things in your 80s, right?
And when it comes to, and Betsy can probably attest to this, when it comes to homeowners searching for that new home, what's the first thing they look at?
The first thing they look at is to find out if they have new windows or if they're double panes.
What's the condition?
Right.
Yep. Yeah. What kind, what brand? A lot of times people don't even know where to look for the brand, and usually the brand's on the handle itself. Or
we hope.
Yeah.
The newer windows, they are required to put a manufacturer's, it's called an AMA label. Usually you're going to find it tucked up into the head of the window. and it'll have an ALMA code. It may not necessarily give the manufacturer's name there, but every manufacturer has an ALMA code, and that can be traced back.
First layman, what's an almond code?
ALMA is the American Association of Manufacturing. Probably didn't get that quite right.
Yeah, that.
That one. Okay.
Is it like a little silver sticker or something like that?
You see the little gold sticker on there that everybody complains about, because they can see it. You know, you can't take that off. And getting back to, we were talking about seal failures. Nearly all of the manufacturers today have an identifiable label either on the glass or up in the window head that references the service order, that be the invoice number that window was made by. It's all computerized. You can go back on windows 8 and 10 years old, get that information off of there. The manufacturer has that in their computer systems. The lifetime manufacturer windows, they can manufacture that new piece of glass to the exact same specifications the window was built by, requiring only one trip out for their service tech to replace that glass. So
technology, I tell you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So all you need to do is readily identify that product, call in for the service techs. It's taken care of.
Now, you said you really like Marvin windows. Do they have the lifetime guarantee also?
Most of the manufacturers in the wood offer what they call a 2010 warranty. So
Okay.
20 years on the glass, 10 years on frame and components of that nature. It's virtually impractical for them to offer the lifetime warranties when you think about it. When you're dealing with a $3,000 window instead of a $300 window,
Right.
they'll
So they need to make sure they take care of them, keep them stained, keep them sealed.
we have fewer callbacks on those products than any other. They're just made to higher standards.
Right, and they last longer. Betsy, before we go, because we have about 2.5 minutes left, do you want to talk about any real estate real quick?
I was going to say a little bit earlier we were talking about acreage parcels and what's available up in the Tuolumne County and Calaveras
Right,
areas.
and during the break you were talking about that. I said, do not say that online because I want it. I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
yeah. I got a 32-acre parcel that's right outside of Twain Harte for $199,900.
What's the altitude on that?
It's at
You know.
about 3,800.
So not a lot of snow.
There's some snow.
I didn't say
because
a lot.
because
I didn't say it was not.
Yeah, and it'll be 5 feet now.
Yeah.
Because I said that. But no, I've also got one that has a view of Lake Tulloch right off of Tulloch Road.
How many acres? What is
It is a 3/4 of an acre lot behind a gated neighborhood. There's only 4 houses up there. It's 89.9. It's literally got all of the utilities at the lot. It's grading already done. Power across the street.
So you just need to get your stick-built home built on that, and I can actually land on that. Yes,
Exactly.
I can. Yeah, I can
exactly.
help you with that.
I know.
Or you can put a manufactured home on there, which today they look just like a stick-built home, and some of these look even better than that. I'm amazed at the different styles.
And they
you
can be
get.
ready within like 6 weeks, it sounds like.
Yeah.
To
Well, I think
custom.
the whole right. Well, but if they have to come out and grade and do everything, you're probably
This is-
talking a few months, and then order it and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
right?
that one's got the pad cut already.
Right.
So if you're up visiting the lakes, even Pinecrest, going up, past Twain Harte, there are several homes that are available and also vacant lots that are available.
Betsy, give me your number so they can contact you.
209-604-2609.
Hey,
I text.
You take text too?
Yeah.
You have to. That's all you can do up there most of the time because the service is so bad.
No.
Andy, why don't you give your company name and phone number so people can get in a hold of you guys?
Yeah, thank you. We are Cal Comfort Insulating Windows. We're at 1050 Kansas Avenue. We're just 2 blocks west of 99. I do ask that if people want to view product, we have a full showroom with all the products in. We're open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday and 9 to 1 on Saturdays. And appointments after hours, we'll come to the house or on weekends, measure up, see what you need. So.
Start to finish, how long does it normally take when someone thinks, I want to get windows in and then it done? Is it like you guys plan out for a future? Or?
This time of year, we're booked out on our calendar 6 to even 8 weeks.
Okay, so plan.
So typically it takes 2 weeks to get windows made, 2 days to put them in.
Okay, great. Hey, I want to thank you guys for being here today.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
All right.